Hello everyone, this is Fred with USA Measurements, and today I want to show you how you can use your US-M5 indicator to calibrate your scales. Now most commonly this is going to come with our wheel pad scales, the green pads that you see. And when you're calibrating, you want to use some type of known weights. And in this video we have some calibrated weights that we're going to use. We typically recommend at least 10% of the max capacity in order to get your best accurate weights. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to start the calibration, we first need to enter our parameter settings by hitting the switch and print button at the same time and let go. If done correctly, you'll see F1. Now before we start, if you take a look here under the different buttons, we have arrows that show left, right, down and up, and then print is enter. So we're going to use these to navigate through the calibration procedure. So we'll hit print to confirm. Now this is going to take us to the number of pads that we're going to have connected to this system. So right now it's 2, it's set at 2. If we had 1, we would go down by hitting the 0 button to change it to the number 1. Or if we had more, such as 3 or 4, we can hit the store button to go up in value. So I'm going to go back down to 2, and I'm going to hit print to confirm because we're using 2 pads. Unit is going to be the measurement that we're going to calibrate in, if we're calibrating in pounds or kilograms. So if we go down by hitting the 0 button, this will change the 0, and this is to calibrate in kilograms. And if we want to calibrate in pounds, it's the number 1. We hit the store button to go up in value. All right, then we're going to hit print to confirm. Now this is going to be the number of divisions that we want the scale to have, such as decimal places. So for instance, right now 0 is whole numbers. 1 would be a 1 decimal place, 2, 3, and 4. In this case, we're going to go ahead and just leave it at 0 because these are a high capacity scale. And we're going to hit print to confirm. Now this is going to be the divisions that the scale counts in. So for instance, 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 5 is 5, 10, 15, 20. And you'll get the idea as it goes higher up in the number of divisions that the scale counts in. So in this case, I'm going to leave it at 2. And we're going to go ahead and hit print to confirm. Full 0, we want to change this to the number 1, and then we're going to go ahead and hit print. This is going to be where we select the max capacity of the total system. So right now I have 2 pads, and each pad is 10,000 pounds. So I want to set this to 20,000 pounds. However, if you had 2 pads and each were 25,000, your total system is 50,000. If you wanted to change this value, the flashing digit can be moved by hitting the left or right button, and that's going to be the value that you can change is the flashing digit. And then we can go up in value to then select a higher capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back down to 20,000, and I'm going to hit print to confirm. Now we're done setting up the first part of the calibration, and then step 2, we're going to go ahead and move into the actual calibration procedure. Okay, so next what we want to do is go ahead and hit the store button to go up in value to F2, and we're going to hit print to confirm. Now this is going to select which scale we want to calibrate. So each one needs to be calibrated separately. So this is 1, 2 is here, 3, and 4. And we can select which one we want to calibrate by hitting the store button to go up in value. So first we're going to start with number 1. That's this port here, which is going to be our left pad. And we're going to hit print to confirm. And then this is going to be our 0-point calibration. So what we want to do is change this to the number 1. And next, what we want to do is make sure that there is nothing on the platform, that it's completely empty. So if it's empty, then we're going to go ahead and hit print. And it'll do a countdown to 0. Now that that's done, we want to go ahead and change this to the number 1 by hitting the store button. And then we're going to hit print to confirm. Now this is where we're going to do our first part of the calibration, and this needs to be lower than the next part. So for instance, if I'm going to calibrate with the first one with 100 pounds, then the second calibration should be more than 100 pounds. So in this case, I'm going to do 200 pounds on the first pad here, and I'm going to go ahead and change this value to 200. Okay, and next what I'm going to go ahead and do is load 200 pounds onto the left pad here. Okay, so now that I have 200 entered, I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna hit print, and it's gonna go through another countdown. All right, so now that I've done the first calibration with 200, I need to use more weight in this second part of the calibration. So I'm gonna hit this to change it to the number 1 and hit print to confirm. And here I wanna use a higher capacity. So in this case, I'm gonna do 300 pounds on the next one. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and load that here onto the left pad. Okay. And now that that's loaded, we're going to go ahead and hit print to confirm. Now the calibration is done. So that's calibrating pad 1. Now if you want to check this real quick just to make sure it was done correctly, what you can do is hit the check button and you can come back to this screen. Now it's showing 300, and I know that's what we use to calibrate. It's showing the correct weight. However, just keep in mind that right now it's showing these two values together. So if there was something on the other pad, it may show a different value. So to isolate just one pad, we hit the switch button, and now it's only showing this one pad over here, compared to if we hit the switch button again, it now shows the right pad. So let's go ahead and go back into our calibration by hitting switch and print. And we're going to go ahead and go to F2, hit print, and now we're going to calibrate scale 2. And we're going to hit print. And now we're going to do our 0-point calibration. And that's where we want to make sure that nothing is on that pad there on the right-hand side. If it's empty, go ahead and change this to the number 1 and hit print. And then we're going to change this to the number 1 and hit print. Now again, we want to make sure that the first calibration that we use is a smaller weight than the second one. So this time on the right, I'm going to go ahead and do 200 pounds. And I'm going to go ahead and load 200 pounds on this side. Okay. So now that I have 200, I'm going to come back down here to the scale, and I'm going to hit print to confirm. And now we're going to do our second point, which needs to be a higher capacity. So we're going to go ahead and hit the number 1, hit print, and we're going to change this to 300 because I'm going to use more weight here. All right, and then what I'm going to go ahead and do is load that extra 100 pounds over to this side. And now I have 300 pounds on the right pad. And once that's on there, I'm going to go ahead and hit the print button to confirm that value. Okay, so now the calibration is done for pad 2. And let's say we want to check the accuracy, make sure it was done correctly. So to exit out of the parameter settings, we hit the check button. Now it's showing 500 because it's combining the two different weights here. So if we want to isolate just this pad on the right-hand side, we hit the switch button, and this is showing the left, and we'll hit switch again to show the right. And now you can see that we have 200 on the left and 300 on the right. And that's how we can check the calibration for each single pad, and that's the combined gross weight. Thanks for watching our video. If you do have any questions on how to calibrate or would like to speak with us, please give our office a call. We'd be happy to speak with you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you do have any questions or need technical support, we'd be happy to speak with you and answer any questions to make sure that we can get you taken care of. Thank you.